In 11.1, we're going to take a look at ratios and proportions. So a ratio is just a fancy word for a fraction. But because it's algebra, now our fractions are going to have x's in them, or y's, or whatever letter. And a proportion is just two equal fractions. So, okay, so you can see that 2/3 and 3 and 6/9 are the same because I multiplied by 3 and I did the same on the bottom. Okay, so these are two equal fractions. We just call that a proportion. Now, how do we solve them? Well, you're going to do what's called cross multiplying. So you multiply on the diagonal. 3 times 2 and 7 times x. So 7 times x and 3 times 2. The trick is you want to set the cross products equal to each other. I don't know why, but a lot of people want to write them as a fraction. Don't write them as a fraction. So I make them equal. Well, 3 times 2 is just 6. So I have 7x equals 6. Divide both sides by 7, and just leave it as 6 over 7. It's okay to get fraction answers. So in the next one, cross multiply on the diagonal. 5 times x is equal to 6 times 3, which is 18. I'm just going to leave it as that. Divide both sides to solve it, and I get x equals 18 over 5. Or if you want to make it mixed, you could say 3 and 3/5. Doesn't really matter. Now, what happens if there's addition and subtraction up in your fractions? Like our last example here. Still multiply on the diagonal, but this time when I go to do 4 times 2x plus 1, I'm going to use parentheses because I'm multiplying all of this by 4. Set that equal to 2 times 7, which is 14. Now you're just going to solve your equation. So you distribute, and you get 8x plus 4 equals 14. I'm going to go into the bottom here, so let me move this up. 8x plus 4 equals 14. Subtract 4 from both sides. 8x equals 10. Divide. And I get 10 over 8. Now that you can't leave because you can reduce that to 5/4. It's okay to leave it as improper, but it needs to be reduced. And that's it. So just cross multiply, but make sure you set them equal to each other. Do not write them as a fraction. Okay, and then just solve your equation. And you're done.